Thank you for coming. We appreciate this as always. And before we get too deep into it, I'd like to ask our pastor, our chaplain, Reverend Bill Roscoe, to come forward and give the invocation.
Thanks, Sheriff. Thank you all for allowing me to have a small part in this incredible office, the Cannon County Sheriff's Office. I am so very, very proud to be associated with all of you, and I thank you all very, very much for everything that you do every single day. And on behalf of the citizenry, since I am a civilian, thank you very, very much. Now join me and we'll pray, ask God's blessing on the time. Lord, we're just so grateful to be here today, to have an opportunity to celebrate with our friends and co-workers, and time to say farewell even to our friend Doug Daniels. We just thank you, God, for the camaraderie. We thank you for the good teamwork that goes on at this office every day. Pray that you'll continue to bless each of our deputies, whether they're on the street, in the jail, in administration, and dispatch, wherever they are today and right now and every day. God bless them, protect them, keep them safe, keep them in your care, and fill their hearts with your peace, and keep their homes in your peace as well. We ask your blessing on this time together, a special blessing on our sheriff and his family, and we thank you for it all in the name of the Master Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. Appreciate you as always. And, Reverend just brought up a key word, and that's team and family. 2 words, team and family. That's really, as you all know, that's what we are here. And not one person or one unit can do this job by themselves or by ourselves. It literally takes every single person and then some to make it function and to complete our mission. I'll give you a quote that I'm known to do from time to time, give quotes. This is from Alexander Hamilton. I think it, especially at the times that we are today, is very appropriate. And he says, "There's a certain enthusiasm in liberty that makes human nature rise above itself in acts of bravery and heroism." And I think that you all exemplify that time and time again. And today is no different. And today we will be able to pay special attention to some of those acts and that fits with the model that you have set. And that's so important. Before we go into the employees of the month, I want to introduce a few people and acknowledge them being here today. And first acknowledgement, of course, is, as you know, in a few short weeks, our chief deputy, who's been here from day one, almost day one from the existence of the sheriff's office. Chief Deputy DeShield, this will be his last award ceremony. And he has been at every one of them. I don't know that you've ever missed one in your time here with us. And so just want to pay a special acknowledgement to the chief. We're going to have a retirement get together for him on the 17th of October. I hope you all will join us here in this room. And we'll talk more about him on that day, but 38 years of service. 35 years of service. But it's an amazing accomplishment. And we're very honored to have had him here, and we've got a few more weeks, but it's just really almost strange to talk about that he won't be here as we continue, but he has done his time, more than his time, and I just want to make sure we give him a round of applause. And that will segue into our interim chief deputy, who's joined us here today as well, Doug Hart, who has recently retired from the FBI, and after 27 years with the FBI, with the service. Doug is a great friend of mine, personally and professionally, and I served under Doug. He was my supervisor on the FBI task force for all the years I was over there, and I am honored to introduce to him, those of you who don't know him, who have not served with him in law enforcement, a great addition to our team and to our family. So thank you, Doug, for taking on this role, and and willing to work here at the Sheriff's Office as you go from one phase of a significant phase of your life into the next. So please, Doug Martin. And we would be remiss if we did not welcome our esteemed Board of County Commissioners, friend and ally, Ms. Pam White. And also, while we're making introductions, some may or may not know Kate Rice, who is our new HR director here in Canyon County. And we are thrilled to have her, as well as our generalist, Cindy Lorta. We welcome you to our ceremony today, and thank you for all the work you've already done for the Sheriff's Office and the employees of Canyon County. We look to many, many, many more years of working with you, so thank you both for helping us out. And don't worry, Doug, Daniels, I've got some other special words for you. So. That wouldn't be the first time. At this point, we'd like to move on to acknowledge the recipients who've been granted a transfer or have received a promotion since our last award ceremony. And so when I call your name, if you would just come up and stand here so we can get a photo. I'll start with Deputy Scott Mcdonald, who has been transferred to the Field Services Criminal Investigation Division. Deputy Hugh Bollander, transferred to Security Services, Course of Transport. Is he here? Okay. You can still clap though. Darren Bradshaw, Deputy Darren Bradshaw, transferred to Security Services Classifications. Deputy Kelsey Rush, transferred to Field Services to Patrol. Martha Williams, transferred to Security Services Pretrial. Deputy Robert Stewart, transferred to Field Services Course of Transport. And Deputy Pete Madison, transferred to Field Services to Patrol Unit. The rest of these people must be working. What's going on? I'm glad you could break away. So next I'd like to do our 20-year badges, to acknowledge those who have been in this business with us for 20 years. And again, same thing, if you could come forward and get a photo, and then we'll do a group photo. So Chief Deputy Hart, if you would come forward and join us with your 20-year, we've already given you your 20-year badge, but we want to have you up here with us as well. 3 weeks and I'll get a plaque. What's that? Oh yeah, we're gonna do individual photo. Sorry, I heard something nagging in my ear. It's weird, I've heard it before. It's like it's in our office. We have like a fan's broken and it's always hanging around or something. It's the same damn sound. Please quiet it up over there. Sorry, Doug. These are your people. Lieutenant Brian Crawford. I would love to blame this on Bunny, but it's not her. Lieutenant Doug Gately. Detective Patsy Radbell.
Hey, one more time, please. I'm her brother.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Well, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm gonna get my one out of
So am I. I didn't know she had any family. You're the first person to ever come forward. That's weird.
I got a story.
I'm sure you do. That's interesting.
He's gonna try and tell you I tried to kill him. I never did.
If she does, what's wrong with you guys?
We're gonna move on. Detective Scott McDonald.
Not your detective, no, right?
Got a witness for you.
Sergeant Dane Phillips. For the plaque and the gold badge, Julianne. Irene Hernandez. And John Sanchez. Anyone that's under investigation for attempted homicide?
Are you good?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming and sharing that very important piece of information. On a more serious note, we'll move into our employees of the month. The first one is for January of 2022, and it is Conchita Montez. You were nominated by John Sanchez, and I'm going to read, as we do these, I'll read each one of these individually. Read the nomination. This is from John Sanchez. Kenny County Sheriff's Office Crime Lab utilizes an Access database to track evidence for analysis. Access is a useful program, but is not without limitations such as expandability as the database grows. In 2020, Conchita recognized the need for the database to be updated in order to track new reports and information that was coming in. Based on consultation with the IT, she realized that the best course of action would be to create an entire new Access database from scratch. She took the initiative to apply for Access training, since building a database from the ground up was going to require much more knowledge than a basic user of Access. Between the 2-day course that was approved and an additional course she took as a student with the College of Western Idaho, Conchita was then ready to take on the hefty task. With the assistance and guidance of Rick Fisher and IT, Conchita spent considerable hours creating an entirely new, more robust and useful database. The database was put into use the beginning of 2021. Conchita has continued to work diligently to make ongoing adjustments and improvements over the course of the year. The new database has significantly increased the productivity, efficiency, and reliability of the forensic laboratory's processes over the old version. The IT department recently noted that given the functionality of the database, it would be a good time to further fortify the database structure. They indicated that Conchita possesses not only the understanding, but the skills needed to work with them on further improvements. Many agencies around the country spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to implement system improvements such as this. Conchita has done so at nearly zero cost. Conchita is a valuable member of the laboratory team and a tremendous asset to the Sheriff's Office and the county. She is constantly striving to make evidence management and the forensic laboratory more efficient, reliable, and streamlined. Conchita is always going to step up to help in other areas of the lab, above and beyond her job duties. Conchita's knowledge, ambition, and drive make the laboratory, Sheriff's Office, and county a better place to serve. Finally, Conchita is an absolute pleasure to work with, and her peers have great respect and appreciation for her. Congratulations. Deputy Nacho, would you step forward and get a photo, please? As obvious to those that have been here before, but for those who haven't, these are very special awards, and they really show the dedication and effort that these employees put forth, not just for their own units, but for the Sheriff's Office themselves, and quite frankly, the county and the citizens that we serve. The second is for the February of 2022. If I can have Debbie McCrae and Megan Hong come forward, please. You can look closer. I'm not as bad as they say I am.
We've been around the block.
Yeah, well. You were nominated for this Employee of the Month by Corporal Darren Fiberhouse. Around mid-February, it came to Sheriff Donahue's attention from the Idaho Sheriff Association that some concealed weapon licenses or licensed ILETS entries may not have actually made it into ILETS due to an issue with one of their vendors. Sheriff Donahue notified Debbie of this, and she immediately reached out to Idaho State Police. Debbie recognized that these missing ILET entries could be a real safety issue for law enforcement officers in the field, especially if someone had been denied a permit or if their permit had been revoked. Debbie learned from ISP that most likely any concealed weapon ILET records entered statewide from August to November 2022 were not in ILETs. Debbie found that there were 671 Canyon County records for the time frame that ISP had given her. As Debbie does, she didn't take their word for it and dug deeper. She ended up finding around 800 records instead of 671 that were not entered. And these records extended beyond the affected time frame that ISP had given her. She notified the ISP that she found affected records outside of their initial time frame, so they could notify the other counties of this matter. ISP hoped to be able to work with the third parties to submit all the missing records in a batch file, but ultimately they were not able to do that. Our office was faced with having to re-enter around 800 records into ILETs. I reached out to Dispatch Manager Roxanne Wade, who graciously offered her personnel to assist in this task. I informed Debbie of this offer to help, and she told me quite emphatically, if you know Debbie, you probably know what that means, that she and Megan could get it done on their own. Having no doubt that Debbie and Megan could and would complete this task, I told them to go for it. Although it shouldn't have surprised me, they re-entered 800 records in 1 week's time, in addition to their regular duties and customers. Because of Debbie and Megan's initiative and hard work on this project and their daily get her done no matter what attitude, I am nominating Debbie and Megan of the Concealed Weapon Permit Sex Offender Registry Unit as Employees of the Month for February 2022.
All of us?
Oh, Debbie, she wants a separate photograph too. You were right, as always.
No, I've learned my lesson. Nathan?
Get back up here. Debbie's orders around, how unusual. Debbie, I really like that word emphatically. Really emphatically.
Haven't used that one
You use other words. I'm just pointing out that I like how Darren used emphatically. That's nice fit.
All right. Lily, you can pipe up now.
I emphatically insist that she does not.
I'm in enough trouble.
Our next award is for April 2022. Correct. And that's, do we have one for March? We don't have one for March. No one did a damn thing in March. Remember that. You too could be up there. No, it just, that's something. It means no one's nominated. Can I have Sergeant Jason Roberts come? Sergeant Roberts was nominated by Lieutenant Ray Talbot. Sergeant Jason Roberts took over the Marine Unit of the Sheriff's Office in July of 2021. This was in the middle of the 2021 voting season and the busiest time of the year for the Marine Unit. As Jason was getting acclimated to his new assignment, he noted several areas where we were deficient to include training and documentation, and equipment condition and maintenance. Jason made a plan and started working toward resolving the identified issues. Jason wrote a training program based off the Reno model to make sure each staff member was not only trained and qualified to operate in the marine environment, but that training was also to be documented. This training program was brought online in April and will be utilized as we move forward. Jason went through all the Marine units equipment and identified outdated or unserviceable equipment. Jason was able to garner a trade of obsolete scuba diving equipment for scuba diving training. Jason's efforts culminated in April when he was able to write and submit a grant request to replace our current patrol boat used for the rivers. Our current boat was manufactured in 1972. Nothing gets unused here. Huh? It was a great boat, many times, but I'd love to have that boat. I refuse to get it to you. The boat had numerous electrical and mechanical issues that presented reliability issues when it was operating in an emergency condition. The grant Jason submitted for and was later awarded was for approximately $124,000. Nice work, Sergeant. I hear the fan. Constant in my head. I'll stop. For May 2022, if I could have Connie Doan come forward, please. Connie was nominated by Lieutenant Martin Flores. This is Martin talking. I am requesting to nominate Connie Doan for Employee of the Month for May 2022. Connie Doan is the president of the Canyon County Employee Appreciation Association. Each year for Law Enforcement Appreciation Week, the Employee Appreciation Association provides food, coordinates raffle items, and purchases gifts for every member of the Sheriff's Office. This year was one of the best years to date, thanks to the efforts of Connie Doan. As a result of those efforts, the Employee Appreciation Association was able to provide lunch to every employee each day, and through the partnerships Connie built, there were over 40 raffle items given away to employees each day. Events of this magnitude take months of coordination and planning and can be a logistical and financial nightmare when not coordinated properly. However, despite the challenges this year's event faced, it was billed as one of the most successful years yet. This is why I'm submitting Connie Dolan for Employee of the Month of May 2020. Very well done, Connie, and everyone benefited. That's a job well done. I'm sure the plaque does enough to say that, but we appreciate all of your efforts. And we appreciate your husband too for putting on the call today, rodeo, just saying. Thanks for being here, Tom. Our next is June of 2022. If I could have Corporal James Feist come forward, please. Corporal Feist was also nominated by Lieutenant Martin Flores. This is Martin talking once again, which is not unusual. Martin talks quite a bit. Got the fan, and I got the heater that comes on periodically.
I don't know if I like that reference.
My temperature goes up. I'm joking. I am requesting to nominate Corporal James Feist for Employee of the Month, June 2022. Corporal, I said it wrong, please. Either one. We got with a name like Kieran, I guarantee it. Corporal Feist transferred to his new position as the PTO training coordinator for the jail in September 2021 and immediately hit the ground running. To start, Corporal Feist was tasked with reevaluating our current PTO program. Corporal Feist made changes which allowed for a more comprehensive training without sacrificing the quality of training. Second, he was tasked with reevaluating our new higher orientation class, and once again, he had identified areas where we could implement better training. 5 months ago, we became aware that we were headed for a staffing crisis. Corporal Feist once again got to work and began to make changes to the PTO program and orientation class. After careful consideration with input from the team, sergeants, and PTOs, he developed a streamlined training program which allowed us to have a highly trained deputy assigned to a team in a shorter amount of time. Corporal Feist did all of this while covering team shortages both during his regularly assigned hours as well as working on his days off. Corporal Feist keeps himself appraised with daily team staffing levels, and when shortages are identified, he works to find coverage, often working those shifts himself. Corporal Feist leads by example and has become an invaluable member of the jail admin team. For this reason and many more, we, the jail admin team, are submitting Corporal James Feist for Employee of the Month for June 2022. For July 2022, if I could have Sergeant Rob Whitney come forward, please. Sergeant Whitney was nominated by Captain Mike Armstrong. Rob has been instrumental in the implementation, training, and use of the Canyon County Sheriff's Office license plate reader program. CCSO went online with the Post Falls, Idaho ALPR, Automatic License Plate Recognition, server in January of 2022. Rob spent countless hours working with Post Falls Police IT personnel to develop protocols and related documents for CCSO to use as a startup kit for our new license plate reader program. After approximately 1 month of utilizing the LPR system, the Post Falls server went down and was rendered inoperable indefinitely. As a solution, the ALPR cameras were able to be redirected to a cloud-based server that was hosted by the ALPR camera manufacturer. This, however, presented a new set of challenges as the cloud-based server utilized a new version of software which was totally different than the one we had just been trained on. Rob again devoted himself to learn the new system, spending numerous hours on the computer and communicating with the vendor to be able to understand and operate the new software. Rob also coordinated with the vendor to provide online training for CCSO personnel who are going to be the users of the system. As a result of Rob's working relationship with the ALPR vendor, they offered CCSO an opportunity to demo a new ALPR product they were considering manufacturing, which provided CCSO an opportunity to store this product at CCSO and to use it at our discretion. Rob took it upon himself to learn how to operate this equipment, which has been deployed now on several occasions at no cost to the county. Rob has been a key element in starting the ALPR program here at CCSO. I have called upon him numerous times to troubleshoot issues and to find solutions as we navigate our way through this technology. Rob will be key to the future expansion of the program, as his knowledge and experience in computer software will prove invaluable to the success of the program. All right, for August 2022, if I could have Detective Nicholas Whittier come forward, please. Detective Whittier was nominated by Sergeant Mark Taylor. On Thursday, August 4, 2022, Detective Nick Whittier was assigned to sexual exploitation of a child case. The case was reported by a business owner from another state whose employee was working remotely from his home in Cannon County. The business owner reported he had software installed in his employee's computer which monitored the productivity of the employee. Shortly after the software installation, the owner discovered his employee was frequenting sites featuring child pornography. Detective Whittier began diligently working the case. He gathered information from the owner of the company, sought advice from a detective who works internet crimes against children, and received guidance from prosecutors. Detective Whittier had the following Monday and Tuesday scheduled off, but instead chose to cancel his plans to work on this case. Detective Whittier was able to secure a search warrant for the suspect's home and specifically electronics. With the assistance of the patrol division, detectives, and electronics sniffing canine, the devices where the child pornography was stored were found in the home. The suspect was arrested and charged with multiple counts of sexual exploitation of a child. In the past, these types of cases would have been sent to the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force to work. Detective Whittier willingly took on the challenge to work a case in unfamiliar territory. He selflessly gave up days off spending time with his family to devote to this case and see the success of the investigation through to the end. We need more practice, right? Nice job, Nick. So that concludes the employee of the month. And as you can see, they're wide and they're varied. They cover a lot of different avenues, a lot of different disciplines, but the most important thing is that they all help complete our mission. And it's about the people who are doing that, who are giving up their time and sacrificing their time and sacrificing their family life to make sure, like Detective Whittier, that the citizens are protected. So outstanding job, emphatically, like that word, emphatically, but it does show the professionalism of these people. So thank you all for doing that, and thank you to those who nominated your people in your units to get that done. For the commendations, the award committee has received commendation, basically applications. They've reviewed those nomination applications, and today we're going to present medals to two very worthy recipients. Both of these medals that we're about to present are for the life-saving medal. Let's see here. This medal is awarded to a member for the saving of a human life. If I could have Deputy Robert Vandershans come forward, please. This is a complex story, quite frankly, and so I want to make sure we get it correct. Deputy Vandershans was nominated by Deputy Pete Madison, who is not here today, who witnessed Deputy Vandershans' quick action to save the life of Deputy Hayden. I think I got all that correct so far. What I'm about to read you is a testimonial from Deputy Haney, who was the recipient of the assistance. And I quote, "I would like to give appreciation to Deputy Vandershans for successfully performing the Heimlich maneuver on me after choking on my food on May 31st, 2022. At approximately 11:40 hours, I was eating my lunch in the Courts and Transport's office. As I was eating, some food became lodged in my throat, and I took a drink of water to wash it down. Upon taking the drink of water, the food compressed in my throat, and I began to choke. I stood up and got Deputy Vandershans and Deputy Madison's attention, who were both sitting at their desks across the room. I motioned for Deputy Vandershans' assistance and moved to the trash can next to my desk. Deputy Vandershans then realized I was actively choking and performed the Heimlich maneuver while I had my vest on, and successfully dislodged the food that was stuck in my throat. If it was not for Deputy Vandershans being present and knowing what to do, I'm unsure of how the situation could have ended. Thank you, Deputy Vandershans." Would you like a picture of me? Outstanding work, and not only did you save a human life, you saved the life of a fellow deputy that you work with every day. And just imagine how difficult that is to do the Heimlich maneuver. You've got a vest on, having to get around the vest, get in position to, you only have seconds, quite frankly. Having done that myself, it is very difficult. It's hard to get that person to, so outstanding work. We are very proud of you, and I know that that's a very, very emotional and sincere testimony. So thank you. If I could have Deputy John Herrick please come forward. Deputy Herrick was nominated by Corporal Sean Whiteout, and I know I saw Sean walk in there. On August 29, 2022, a call came in to the Caney County Dispatch Center advising of an ATV that had crashed on Sism Road. A male in his mid-20s was reportedly laying on the ground and bleeding profusely from the arm. The male was also going in and out of consciousness. Deputy John Herring arrived on scene and quickly assessed the male and his condition. He determined a tourniquet was needed and quickly acted. The bleeding from the male's arm stopped, and medics were able to transport him to St. Alphonsus Boise without incident. The surgeon who operated on the male later reached out to Deputy John Herrick to provide an update on the condition of the patient. The surgeon explained the male had an arterial bleed, and his prognosis would have been grim had it not been for the tourniquet being applied in a timely fashion. The surgeon was also commended Deputy John Herrick on his proper application of the tourniquet. Without Deputy John Herrick's application of the tourniquet, it is very likely the male would have succumbed to his injury. Thank you, and thank you for your quick action and knowing what to do, and it's just, again, another example of what our people are doing out there every day and night. And a lot of it goes quietly unnoticed, but we know that you guys are out there and the work that you're doing. Excellent work. Next, we will move into retirements. So this is always bittersweet, right? We want people to get to the age of retirement, get to the point of retirement. We hate to see them go when they do. And yet we're all working probably for the same goal, that we want to get there someday as well. It's an incredible experience for them, but it's the value of the experience and knowledge that they walk away with that we will not have at our immediate disposal, right? They've made us better, but we have to pick up those pieces and that knowledge and experience and utilize it as we go forward. So I always find this a little bit difficult, but if we could have the people who come up, we'll get an individual photo and then we'd like to do a group photo. So I'm going to read the person and then the years of service. Deputy Daniel Williams, 16 years of service. And Deputy Ken Hollis can't be here today, but he retired with 17 years of service. Detective Roy Walthall, 46 years. Roy, I can honestly say you look younger than when you left here a few weeks ago. Honest to God. That's amazing. That's pretty impressive. I'm not gonna ask you his age. And next, and the last part of our retirement is retiring today. Doug Daniels, Sergeant. You can come forward. Yeah, Doug. This is a tough one. Not sure what I can say. You can go away. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no, that doesn't.
Doug, you already got something to say.
Thank you. we didn't continue. Letter. Oh, yes, and the very important part. While he's coming up here, I'll just say that Doug served as a patrol officer, a sergeant, CCNU sergeant, canine handler for more years than we can remember. And those of us that worked out there in the field with him, night, day, drug stuff, narcotics, when we were in a bad way, and you called out, needing assistance, and when 218 came over that radio, you knew we're gonna be good. He's gonna be there. So I just want to thank you for all those years. Appreciate it.
One of the other things we do for our retiring deputies, Idaho statute allows the sheriff to make a request to award their firearm and badge upon their retirement into the purchase system. Today, Doug didn't turn his gun back into us because he's taking it home with him. That resolution, before the county commissioners authorizing that, and we move on.
You know, it turns out Joel Decker gets me on Fox News every once in a while, which is nice of him. So we can say some of the things that need to be said. Because a lot of people in this country don't say it, right? And we as sheriffs, we have the podium. And I believe strongly that we need to voice what needs to be said out there. And I think that's one of our recent Fox segments that I think it was there that I told him, I said, we as a society should be frightened. The monster's at our doorstep every day and night. Whether you're talking about fentanyl, national border security, the border itself, the criminality, the victimization. I was down there a few weeks ago on the border again in meetings and working with my colleagues. It's unimaginable. You can't imagine what they face every day and night. You can't imagine what 2.1 million people so far this year, as of today, apprehended, handcuffs on, and 900,000 gotaways. That's 3 million. And our Border Patrol colleagues, our sheriff's officers down there, they're handling it every single day. And they get to pick up the dead children that didn't make it across the river, the mothers, the fathers. I've got one good friend who's a sheriff in Brooks County, South Texas. It's tough country. Today, he gave me the 79th picture of the 79th body his team's picked up so this year, 79. They made it across. They paid their fees to the cartel. Cartel got their money. And then they left 79 bodies. And I've got photos of every one of them in different forms of decay. Most after the animals have got to them. These are somebody's families, somebody's wives, sons, daughters, brothers, sisters. And that's just part of it. And sheriffs need to be talking about it. Quite frankly, all of you need to be talking about it. You need to be talking about it with your family. You need to talk about it to your legislators, to everyone, whether they're listening or not. You can't let go of the battle cry because they are killing us. They're killing their families. 108,000 people dead of overdose last year alone. We'll surpass those numbers this year. You know, 82% of those be attributed to fentanyl. We're seeing fentanyl on the streets here. We got powder, we got pills, we got rainbow fentanyl modeled to market to children. That's who our enemy is. It's the Mexican cartels, and it's not the good people who want a better life. That's not what it's about. It's about what they're doing to those people who want a better life. Indentured servitude, rape, assault, battery, murder. It's unbelievable. I've done there a lot. I speak on it a lot, and I'm not going to back up. You guys know me. If they don't like it, I don't give a shit what they like. We're going to tell them the damn truth, right? But we're not going to rehabilitate our way out. We're not going to arrest our way out. We've got to shut her down. And we've got to go to war against cartels. It's the only way we're gonna win this war. So, if you hear me out there talking, and we hear those who oppose us, I was actually supposed to be in Washington DC yesterday, giving a brief from the Department of Justice. They narrowed the time down to put my speech at 5 minutes. And I thought, I'm not getting on a plane and flying to Washington DC for 5 minutes. So they said, well, you can call in. So 2 days ago, they canceled the call in part. I don't think they really want me talking, so I'll talk anyway. Another quote as we close this out by Robert Kennedy, who was a great man. Every society gets the kind of criminal it deserves, right? What is equally true is that every community gets the kind of law enforcement it insists on. It insists on. Our communities insist on us being as good as we can possibly be. And you rise to that challenge every single day, and I'm damn proud of you, all of you. And we're going to continue to do so. We have a great partner now in Chief Ingram at Boise and Culver PD. He's a great man. I've got to know him fairly quickly and very closely already. I have great hope for him and his team, for this community, and for what he can bring with his knowledge and experience. We're already partners. We're good partners. And of course, we have Doug Hart here, who's 27 years, served as a resident agent in charge in, I believe, 7 years, right? 7 years in Boise, in addition to all his other duties. We have a great team. You guys make us great. There is nothing we can't accomplish. It takes every single one of us. So stay the course, keep your ammo dry, right? But we take the fight to them. We don't wait for them to come to us. So God bless you. Thank you for doing this, Bunny. Thank you as always. I know you were on vacation today. She came in just to make this happen, so thank you. Chief DeShill, we're going to see you in this room in 2 weeks. Thank you for your service, sir. And all of you, God bless. Be careful out there.